Hello, how are you doing? Welcome back to some more F1 23 and another part of the Immersive Driver Career Mode with Alfa Romeo. Today we are back with the Japanese Grand Prix, one of my favourite circuits of the season actually. I know a lot of people find it challenging, but it's certainly one that I enjoy. In the last episode we had a bit of a disaster. We obviously crashed out of the race, meaning that we've now DNF'd from 5 races this season. Not the best, really. We've got to hopefully push on and get back into the points later on this season. That's certainly something I'm looking to do. In terms of development, we've had a lot of failed parts recently, so we're not quite where we want to be with it all. And it's a bit of a shame, really, and we haven't got enough resource points to push on, but we have got a major chassis upgrade coming in the next few weeks. We've got a major powertrain coming in the next few weeks as well. But yeah, it is getting towards squeaky bum time at this point, especially if we want to be taking 5th in the Constructors. We're 9 points behind McLaren, and we're only 20 ahead of Alpine in the fight for 6th. Haas, Williams, AlphaTauri, they shouldn't be catching us unless there's a freak result of some sort, but you know, we definitely want to head back and get towards McLaren's total. But thank you very much for the support on the series so far. Let's keep it going and get into the Japanese Grand Prix. Only 7 races to go in season 1, so let's have a little look at where we are at. So development upgrades, a little bit of rain possibly for qualifying. Okay, next year's regs. From what I can tell, there's a fair amount of support from the powers that be. Changes are going to hit more or less every area of the car in minor ways, but the result from our perspective is that the work we've done is on reliability and durability is going to be thrown into chaos until we have a firm... Okay. Fair enough. And yeah, you can see all of the different upgrades we've potentially got coming on the car, but just can't get them on at the moment. We have got our aero upgrades going to be in for probably the next Grand Prix, actually, which will be Qatar, which I've heard is an awesome racetrack this year, so we will see. But yeah, without further ado, let's get ourselves into qualifying and see how it goes. Here we are then in Suzuka for the Japanese Grand Prix qualifying of 2023, and I have absolutely adored driving this track so far. It's going to be a really intense session. I think the track is going to be constantly getting better. We need to be out there right at the end setting our quick times. Rain could come at any point. I'm not fully expecting rain, but we do need to keep an eye out for that. But target 1, get through to Q2 for the first time since Belgium. Here we come then, down into the final couple of corners, a little bit wide there into the chicane, and now we fly up to the line. We take the shortest route up to the line, so 1:28.3, which is the fastest time for now. And you can definitely feel just a little bit of moisture in the air. It's going to be interesting to see if any rain does hit, as Max Verstappen is now going quickest. Perez up to 3rd as well, but Bottas currently 5th. But there you go, we lose the car slightly there. You can see it must be damp on the grass, because there's definitely smoke coming out the tyres, some spray.
Less than 1 lap of fuel left now, the tank's pretty much empty.
Yeah, I'm not going to get too excited, but that feels like it should be good enough to get through to Q2. Well, we are comfortably through to Q2, but we are going to come up to the line, finish this lap, because this is going to be the fastest time of Q1. And as I say, car is feeling very, very good out there. And we managed to get through to Q2 for the first time in a little while. And we'll certainly take that in first place. There you go, 2/10 quicker than Carlos Sainz. Well, it's all gone wrong.
2 minutes remaining in the session. We need a good lap here or we're out of qualifying.
All gone wrong there. And that is really, really gutting because we've had pace all weekend. I thought to save tyres, we'll just go for the one run right at the end of Q2. And we've made a mistake through the Degnaz, and that is really disappointing. We're going to keep pushing right to the end. But I think that will be too big an uphill battle as we come through the second sector split, and we're 1.3 seconds off the pace, and yeah, we're nowhere near really. It's going to be 15th, I think, for the race tomorrow, and that is nowhere near our pace, and we now fly up to the line. What's it going to be? It's a 129.9 in the end. 15th place from hero to zero, and that's where we're going to be starting tomorrow's race from. And we've been out qualified by our teammate Valtteri Bottas once again, and we just made the mistake, I suppose, on that lap. But I mean, even so, we're still only within 2/10 of Bottas. Probably lost a second and a half there. I think we'd have been comfortably into the top 10, but it is what it is. And we have to go into tomorrow's race with every hope that we can improve.
Welcome along then to the magnificent Suzuka International Circuit, a stone's throw away from Issa Bay in the beautiful Japanese countryside. What surprises lie in wait for us today at the Japanese Grand Prix? 18 corners make up a lap of the incredible figure-of-8 Suzuka circuit, with 10 to the right and 8 to the left, for a distance of 3.6 miles. Average lap speeds around here are fairly quick. If it stays dry, then expect somewhere in the region of 136 miles per hour. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position. And starting next to them is George Russell. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Verstappen, Sainz, Perez, Fernando Alonso, Norris, Gasly, Ocon, Albon, Hülkenberg, Magnussen, Bottas, the captain, Stroll, Oscar Piastri, Tsunoda, Sargent, and Nick de Vries. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today. With the Grand Prix nearly upon us, Anthony Davidson is by my side once again to offer his perspective. Can we start by having a chat about Sergio Perez? That was a great win in the last race, but can they keep that momentum going into this weekend?
There are never any guarantees in this business, but certainly the performance last time out would have boosted their confidence coming into this one.
Okay, here we are down on track then, and I think, once again, we want to go for that medium-soft strategy. That seems to do us so well here. Don't know about the hards. Yeah, obviously we'd have better tyre wear, but I think the pace is not good enough. But yeah, you know, again, it's one that we have to be wary of. We're going to be on the medium tyres right at the start here, meaning we're not going to have the grip to go for audacious manoeuvres.
We're not seeing any technical issues coming off the practice start. Watch the RPM on the full start. We don't want you to bog down.
We know we've got to get heat into these tyres. We can make a good start, but turn 1 here is unlike turn 1 anywhere else. It's not really a braking zone. It's a corner, but you're not really braking into it. It's not somewhere that you can go down the inside of very easily. In fact, it's a bit more like, you know, you want to stay out of it and try and pick up the pieces. I do feel like there's going to be some incidents today. I'm hoping that we're not involved in any of them,
Stable at the moment. No rain.
because I do think we've got so much more pace than what we showed in qualifying, and I think we can go out there and we can get back into the points, get some points on the board. I think 7th, maybe even 6th is possible today if we play our cards right. Okay, that's very ambitious from 15th on the grid, but and yeah, I'm, you know, confident that we can do that. Yeah, the more I look at that Aston Martin of Stroll, the more I feel like next year that's our destiny. Get ourselves into a team that can regularly score points and can potentially take us up to winning races, getting podiums on a regular basis, and I think we can lead that team in that direction, whether alongside Stroll or not. But here we come, we're coming up to the grid box now, trying to get as much heat into these tyres as we can. And the brakes, ready for turn 1. This time I'm gonna angle it to the left.
There, mate. Let's make sure we get the edge on the surrounding drivers as the lights go out.
We want to be taking the outside line. Here we go then, ready for the 5. Red lights. Lights out, away we go, and it's a terrific start for Valtteri Bottas. It's an okay start for us as well, and we managed to go around the outside of a few drivers there. As we head into turn 1, Bottas very much being the aggressor there. Going into turn 1, we have got a car on our inside, and it's Lance Stroll, and we just back out of that because that could have ended up quite nasty with our slightly less grip. So despite a good start, we've ended up back in 15th position. Bit of dirty air there. Oh, that could have been a big incident with Kevin Magnussen, and now we've got through all of that safely. It's about getting into the rhythm, because we know we've got pace. We know we can overtake these guys. And there we go, we fly down the inside of Lance Stroll. He's going to have more traction on the exit, so we use a little touch of ERS to try and out-accelerate him, but look at that. That's a huge amount of acceleration. And well, my good friend Matt, Mar Gaming, or just Mar as he's known these days, he's got a theory that the AI just use all their ERS in the opening 2 laps, and I think that was a pretty good example of where they could be using it there. As we head down the inside, this time once again of Lance Stroll, and this time he's not going to make it back past. A little bit of ERS outside of the final corner, and we're following Valtteri Bottas through the end of lap 1 here. Nico Hülkenberg is going to have a little look at Pierre Gasly there, and he's going around the outside of turn 1. No such luck for Nico Hülkenberg to get through there. But they were side by side, but eventually, after a couple of mistakes on lap 1, we've moved up 1 place. We've got a chance on Bottas here, and we do risk it. I know it's our teammate, but need to make progress up the field, and we are through on Bottas, and comfortably through as well. DRS enabled this lap. It would be quite nice if we could get past Hülkenberg, so that we can just use the DRS on Pierre Gasly, who seems to have lost the back of Alex Albon a little bit. Perhaps because he's on the hard compound tyres. Well, there's Nico Hülkenberg. He's going down the inside of Pierre Gasly through 130R. What a brilliant manoeuvre that was. But now Pierre Gasly has got the inside line. Oh, well, that nearly ended up with us losing our front wing there. And I tell you what, Nico Hülkenberg is going to be under pressure here from both ourselves and Pierre Gasly. And we go down the inside of both of them, and Pierre Gasly was the first one to brake there. And we took the slogan of F1 23 to heart there, be the last to brake. And we get ourselves up into 11th place already in this race, and that's absolutely massive. But now we need to absolutely push hard and get caught up to Alex Albon. Well, here comes Pierre Gasly back at us down the inside of 130R, and we need to hold it side by side into the chicane. Gasly's still there, but we give him space, and well, we stay in front, but we're not quite catching up to Alex Albon the way I thought we would be at this stage of the race. We are struggling a little bit with tyre wear, funnily enough, so I'm glad we didn't start on the soft tyres. Well, Gasly makes it past. We locked up a little bit.
Try to stay with them. They might make a mistake and we could still regain the position.
We can see how quick Gasly is at this part of the Grand Prix. But we managed to scare him into Spoon Curve, and we managed to go down the inside, and we are through. Little bit of track extension on the exit there, and now Gasly's got a wonderful run on us towards 130R, and now we're into the chicane. Very good. Again, very decent there, but let's have a little look at tyre wear. Tyre wear's not brilliant, is it? And there goes Pierre Gasly potentially having a look, and I'm thinking, do we change the strategy on the fly? Is the hard tyre going to be the one to be on rather than the softs? Because we've got another 3 laps on these medium tyres at this rate, and we're just going to be slow.
Okay, no issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of them.
I don't know, it's going to be an interesting one. It's one of those where you just wish you could know what's going to happen in that second stint on those soft tyres. Are we going to be able to take them all the way? I'm not entirely sure we will be able to. Well, we must have got through the graining stage of these tyres, because they've come back to us. And you can see we are now starting to close in on Alex Albon. He's 3.7 seconds ahead, but we are closing in on him. We've took about half a second in the last lap. And that's exactly really what we want to be doing.
Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 3.8 seconds.
Starting to pull away from Gasly as well. That's it. Yeah, people are in the pit lane, so...
Okay, we want you to pit this lap, so push now, push.
Coming into the pits this lap, there goes Gasly.
Valtteri is in for his stop.
Again, he was very, very cautious on the brakes there. So now we got to push hard, we got to do the overcut basically. And we know we're going to have fresher, softer tyres than the guys in front of us for the rest of this race. So it's actually coming good, this strategy now. I think we must have just had graining in the tyres, and well, we fought through it. Now seem to be going at a pretty respectable pace, pretty much the same pace as Carlos Sainz in the Ferrari. It's pretty massive for us in an Alfa Romeo. The question will be, can we... Oh, there's yellow flags, what's happening? There's yellow flags here.
Yellow flag.
No idea what's happened.
Someone's come off ahead of you. There's a yellow flag ahead.
It's Charles Leclerc. He's out of the session.
Okay,
And there's a safety car.
Safety car is out.
This is
Need to
massive.
warm up at reduced pace. Keep a close eye on that delta time. Make sure to keep it positive.
Well, we're in just about with the right speed. Here we go. And we're away. Not as quick as it could have been, but we are through. Where are all of these guys? They're coming through now. There goes Albon.
Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now.
But the good news is the safety car is going to close us all together. We're going to be able to really look after these soft tyres. And we're going to be able to reap the rewards of these soft tyres. The final few laps of this Grand Prix. Safety car in this lap then. And we are 9th place in the Grand Prix. We're ready to rock and roll as soon as Albon drops it. So here we go. We accelerate out of the final corner. And this is going to be perfect,
Okay,
you would
you're in
think,
the
but
top
look
10.
at that.
Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 1.8 seconds.
And Albon leaves the door slightly ajar there.
Green flag.
I've no idea how everybody got through that. Pretty much unscathed. We've got to make a move on Albon quickly or we're going to be in trouble. Okay, and this is going to be our chance on Alex Albon, and we do go down the inside. And we are through. Very good manoeuvre there.
Good job. Nice overtake.
Coming through now. 1:30.8. It's a pretty good time. And now we got to try and get within a second of Sergio Perez. I think Norris is there for the taking today, and that would be a real help in our battle for 5th in the Constructors if we can get past Norris. Because Ocon is sort of a cork in the bottle here. And will Perez be able to get past both of them? That's another question, and Alonso is ahead of them. So you can see how much more traction we had with those soft tyres out of that corner. And now heading up towards Spoon Curve. 5 laps to go after this. We need to make sure we take advantage of the soft tyres while we've got them. And here we go then. Sergio Perez closing in on Lando Norris, but I think we're going to have a chance at Sergio Perez here as we go down the inside, and we are through. Very good manoeuvre. Is this going to be fastest lap as we fly over the line?
And that's just 5 laps of fuel remaining.
Not quite.
DRS has been enabled. DRS is now enabled.
DRS enabled now, and honestly, top 5 is on the cards here. If we don't make silly mistakes like that and lose an unnecessary half a second to Lando Norris. Well, Ocon's surely in trouble here with DRS. Norris and us. But actually, Lando Norris looks like he's the one in trouble here. And yet, we go down the inside, but he manages to have the grip around the outside, and he is through. Fair play. This could be a chance on Lando Norris. We are going to risk it. We go down the inside, and we are through. And that's a huge manoeuvre to make. We're up to 6th place. And now DRS open on Esteban Ocon. Not yet. But we will have the chance on him next lap. at the very latest. And DRS open this time, closing right in on Esteban Ocon. And we are comfortably through in the end, and now up to 5th place.
Great manoeuvre, you made it look so easy.
10 points in this Grand Prix at this moment in time. And now can we start to close in on Fernando Alonso.
2 laps of fuel left.
Okay, then here we come up to the line. Lewis Hamilton has won the Grand Prix. We come across the line in 5th place. Terrific result for us. And
Okay,
10 points
pick up
in the
rubber and
bag.
bring it home.
Driver of the day as well.
That's it then for another fantastic Grand Prix here in Japan. A brilliant victory that has thoroughly earned the applause of the sellout crowd here today. Tell me, Ant, how do you think they were able to deliver such an incredible result today?
Well, they certainly stood out as a driver with tons of confidence on the track. I think their ability to keep their cool, even during some of the more hectic parts of the race, meant they were able to capitalise on the mistakes of other drivers, giving them the opportunity to make their way to the top spot with ease.
After an excellent performance at the Grand Prix, I'm sure there'll be plenty of celebrations tonight amongst the Mercedes team, and they certainly deserve it.
Okay, there we go then. End of this Grand Prix and a
Let's see how
return
the
to
driver's
form, you would have to
standings
say.
have changed. Well, not the result our points leader would have wanted, but it certainly makes things interesting going forward. Some amazing talent out on the track today. But Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day?
I have to give it to the captain. They pushed and found some fantastic performance. It was just a pleasure to watch.
Let's move on to the constructors. The lead at the top comes down after a strong weekend from the challenging pack. I'm equal parts exhausted and elated with this weekend of Formula One, so be sure to join us for the next one.
So there you go then. Max Verstappen still leads the Drivers' Championship. Only 35 points ahead of Lewis Hamilton, though. The Mercedes are coming for him, and Sergio Perez not too far back either. Charles Leclerc is in 5th, ahead of Sainz in 6th, and Norris and Fernando Alonso battling it out for best of the rest at 7th, and we are still firmly in the top 10. We close the gap to 3 points to McLaren in the Constructors. Big Grand Prix for us there. Got to be happy with that. And yeah, I want to see this start actually, because we got off the grid very, very well. If you look down the back, you can see we're making good progress here. But Stroll off to a good start as well. But watch Bottas here. He just flies into that first corner, as does Lance Stroll. And we did get off to a struggling start, didn't we? But we managed to settle into the Grand Prix, settle into the rhythm a little bit, and really push on from that moment on. But yeah, very, very happy with that. 10 points in the bag, and Qatar next time out, which I'm really looking forward to giving a go for the first time in this year's game. So that's where we're going to leave it for today's episode. If you have enjoyed that, give it a big thumbs up down below, subscribe for plenty more F1 content, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.